Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Scream Queens Season 2, Episode 10 is the season finale. It's called Drain the Swamp. Full spoilers for the episode, as always. First things first, Connor, I have to complain about you.
About me?
Yeah, because you set up my expectations for this one.
Oh yeah, as disappointed as well. I was misinformed
I
apparently. I
I'm
blame Reddit.
blaming no, I'm blaming you because you told me that Chad Radwell had an appearance in the finale. I was waiting all
Look,
episode.
I was too because Reddit had shared like set pictures with him back on set, and Denise was there as well. So I was like, okay, we're getting some stuff. I'm looking forward to this, and I passed that information along to you, and it seems it was only half right.
But yeah, this was the season finale, and otherwise we had your typical Scream Queens finale. It reminded me a lot of last season with the sort of the epilogue where it explained how everyone kind of
I don't think it was
ended up.
quite as heavy as last season.
It wasn't, no, but it was similar enough. Like it told you
Yeah.
where everyone ended up and kind of things,
Mm.
and it left things in a place where if there is no season three, which seems kind of reasonably likely, it's left in a pretty good place for it, which is good. I still want a season three. Don't get me
Of
wrong,
course.
but interesting how the final scare wasn't the Green Meanie; it was the Red Devil again.
Yeah, it almost felt like they didn't have faith in their season. Like that's why ratings were dwindling. Like, oh, we need to bring back the Red Devil as like a hook to try and get renewed.
I don't know. I think there's maybe another reason for it. Like if it turns out to be Chad again, who secretly wasn't dead,
I'd be down for that. Don't get me wrong,
yeah,
but
I'd be down for that. I was almost expecting them to reveal it before it cut to credits,
mm,
but it didn't. But no, so we wrapped up the main plot here with and I almost feel like most of it. Basically, Doctor Holt decides to marry Munch. Chanel's not Chanel, sorry, Hester's. I was going to say Chanel number six, and then I just abandoned the number, and it was like, no, that's the wrong character. I can't do that because there's like tons of Chanels. But Hester convinces Holt to marry Munch so that he can get all her money when she dies of her disease. But of course, Chanel number five uh, does some tests and does some digging and finds out that she's just dehydrated.
this gave me possibly my biggest laugh of the episode. It's like you drink all the time. It's like yeah, but it's always Scotch.
Or
And then it
vodka.
occurred to me, we always see her drinking Scotch.
Yeah, yeah. No, that was fun. Although, honestly, probably some of my favourite jokes in this one are just kind of callbacks to other jokes. Like Chanel number
Everything with
five's.
Chanel number
Yeah.
five. Yeah.
Chanel number five's whole Ace in the MCAS, every time it was brought up, because the first time it was just Holt and Chanel number one, and they were just talking completely unrelated, and she mentions ever since you did the MCATs for me, I feel like that was you apologising for trying to strangle me, and the camera just goes like that, and Chanel number five standing right behind is like, hey, no one help me, I did that all on my own, no one cares number five.
But as amazing as that was, and as great a callback to last week, does it top the teeth?
I did have teeth in my vagina.
Because we kind of dropped the teeth jokes for a little while.
Although that, well, it's been a while since we heard them. Although my favourite joke in that whole scene with the cage was maybe the Chanels no having no idea who when Hoffel revealed her name and Munch knew it was the sister of the maid.
Yeah.
And then they were like, give us more clues. And then they finally said it's like, and then they finally just flat out said who it was, and Chanel's number one's reaction of, oh, just it cracked me up.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Denise coming back to life, of course, to save the day was deeply amusing. Um, Mainly the election joke in particular was hilarious, although it stung quite a bit. I'm not going to lie.
It did. It was very cleverly done because there's certain things they've obviously shot post result.
This entire episode was shot post
Yeah,
result.
yeah. But I mean, like of the season where they've gone, oh no, we're just going to change because you expect things to be written beforehand. Usually these are written a little bit in advance. So the fact that they've just kind of gone, nope, we're having this in here.
Yeah, well, I know the shooting schedule for this was really tight because there was a when the premiere was shown in episode one. The scenes in that episode with Kirstie Alley were only shot about 5 days before it aired.
Okay, that's tighter than most network shows.
Well, I think it was
at
just
least
her.
most network dramas.
It was just her scenes that were shot 5 days before. Like they'd obviously cast her late, and they wanted
Yeah.
to insert the scenes. But I'm just giving that as an example to show how close to the air
Yeah,
date sometimes it can be. So, it wouldn't have taken that much to throw in that joke,
No.
before you know. So, but no, that was really funny. Also, yeah, they didn't train us how to defuse bombs in Quantico, but luckily I've seen the hit TV show Quantico, and I saw it on.
I missed the Quantico jokes. I did.
I love that she comes back to life just to drop that joke. Other real cool meta jokes in this one were Cassidy jumping in front of the machete to save Chanel number 3, and he's like, you could have just pushed her out the way to save her,
Right.
that would have saved her. In fact, that was like option number 3 in terms of the ways you could have saved her.
Yeah. Do you know what was weird though? I thought, because obviously I think it was like 2 episodes, maybe 3 episodes ago, we had that training montage with him.
Yeah, sure.
I thought he was going to pull out some crazy skills and just deflect it or something. I thought that's where it was going when it started the slow motion throw. But no, he just jumped in front.
Yeah, I mean it's funny because the plot in Scream Queens has always been the least important part. Like it almost
Yeah.
doesn't matter, and I feel like the ending kind of reflects that. And because of that, the finales tend to be kind of the least interesting episodes because it's like, oh, we have to wrap up the plot.
Yeah, it's like, well, I mean, we have to have an excuse to exist, so here's a plot. So I guess we have to end it as well, but even though we don't really care.
Yeah, because I didn't care about Cassidy's mother. I didn't really care about Hoffel, even though I do love the weird, like, I'll fire baseballs at Chanel trying to kill her.
That is like the most extremely methodically thought out like murder plan yet. Because they're usually just, okay, we'll walk at them. This time they've barred the windows, they've got the machine in there set up, just waited for her to walk past. And it's like, right, got you now.
And then Chanel number 8 gets hit in the face with a baseball, and it was really funny because Chanel number 1 doesn't. And then she goes to Cassidy and she says, "Oh, it's impossible to kill those Chanels." And I was almost expecting her to just say plot armor because that's essentially what it is. They have plot armor,
Yeah.
and she's like, they have some sort of force field or something, or like, yeah, it's called plot armor.
Yeah.
But no, that was good. It's not just meta joke. There was a lot of great little jokes in this. There was a lot of great build up to things. Chanel reacting to the proposal, running in thinking she was getting proposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With all the music going,
Yeah.
and it was good.
And then it sort of like goes out of tune and like screeches to a halt as she realizes and all that. A lot of good fun moments like that. And the epilogues were fun. Her getting her own TV show, Chanel number 5, being a doctor and running it with Zadie. Because
Yeah.
Munch is now a sexpert, I believe is the term she uses.
Yeah, she's a sex therapist for the elderly.
Yeah. And Hester and Dr. Holt are together on Blood Island, and they are murdering tourists. And they have a butler as well.
Yeah, that was the weird bit that got me. Like, Hester was like, yeah, we're murderers, we can do this, but has Holt even killed anyone?
Not yet.
I mean, he kind of wanted to kill Chanel, was the point, like, insinuated, like, oh, he did actually want to. But she was like, you're a murderer, just like me. We'll be serial killers together. And I'm like, wait, what?
It does seem a bit abrupt, I will say this. They seem to introduce this idea, because they introduced this last week. It's not been going on that long.
Yeah.
And it does feel kind of quick. I think it was maybe just late on the season, it's like, oh, how do we end his story? Like, where do we want him to end up? And it was just kind of...
I get it. And again, why am I bringing logic to it?
Yeah, it doesn't
But-
really matter.
While I was watching it, it actually stuck out as weird to me, which kind of makes it a bit more of an issue, I think. Because most of the times I can just kind of roll with it. Whereas
No,
this one,
Yeah, another standout scene for me was Chanel's plan to use the pumpkin spice latte to kill Munch while her brain was exposed. And the other Chanel's quite, reasonably saying, yeah, that probably wouldn't do much. And then Chanel number 5, this is where they get the other MCAT joke. She's like, she gives all this reasoning, all this medical knowledge of why it won't
leave
work.
it cold and then
Yeah.
let the bacteria grow, because all you're doing is killing it and keeping cleansing her.
Since when did you become a know-all? Ever since I used the MCATs. And even Chanel number 3 is like, oh, this again. It's like, no one cares that you aced the MCATs.
Just let it go, damn it.
Oh, so good. So good. I really want season 3. I want... I mean, obviously the characters all kind of get split up at the end because we end up with, them in the island. Chanel number 1's got the TV show with Chanel number 3, who's her floor manager.
I loved the earmuff headset.
Yeah, that was amusing actually. Yeah, and we had the hospital being run, and that was pretty much it. That was all our main characters because all the other ones have been killed.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So no, I would be down for season 3. I think this obviously gives them all kind of a happy ending. And sure, there's the final scare with Chanel and the Red Devil, but we've seen how that turned out last season. It was just
it was exactly the same essentially as the last season's ending, which makes me think, do they just pull the same joke twice?
It probably would be, although I think this one's less offensive than the last season's because last season it was like, oh, the 3 Chanels are going to a mental asylum and they've been framed for the murder. Like, it was so bottling them into this situation. It felt like, how did they get out of this? And obviously the Scream Queens, they just write them out of it in a really silly way, and that's fine. But whereas this one,
she's just in a car.
She's just in a car, yeah. I mean, even if it's a real killer, she could get out of the car.
Yeah.
You know, they could say that's what happened, that she ran out or whatever. But Hoffel has a slow death in quicksand, in the swamp, and
Munch tries to save her, and then it doesn't work, so she gives up.
yeah. Oh, speaking of fun little meta jokes, Zadie acknowledging that no one was looking for her. In fact,
and the fact that she's like, I was trapped in a basement again.
yeah, and Munch is the only one that even actually said, "Oh yeah, I was worried where you were." No one else even knew she was gone.
No one even acknowledged she was missing.
In fact, do you know what? This is another thing I just realised. No one has even acknowledged that Chamberlain has died or been missing since he died.
To be fair, until Zadie mentioned him to Munch, she didn't even know he existed.
That is also true. That is a fact. Yes. But no, I think that was fun. It was a fun ending to a fun season. Not the highlight. My favourite moments were still with the Chanels, still with Chanel number 5's running jokes, and Chanel number 1 being this weird, I don't want a relationship, but I do want to take selfies with you 3 times a day.
To have an online media presence of a relationship.
Yeah, that's all she actually cares about.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of highlights this season. I think the season overall, maybe it wasn't as strong as season 1 because we did lose Chad early on, and we did go a long time without Denise. Plus, this is maybe a weird thing to say, but I do feel like the budget was lower this season.
Yeah, I feel the same.
It was very much, well, we have this one hospital set, everything's going to be set in there.
Whereas, yeah, because obviously last year we had the house.
We had the house, but we had a lot of campus areas, we had a lot of outside, we had a lot of all this other stuff. Whereas this season I really felt like, we've given ourselves a big enough set that we can just stay in here almost the entire time. And that's fine.
It works to its credit.
Yeah.
Because, like you say, it is... There's a reason enough for them to be there. There's rarely times that we need to see them outside of it.
Well, using Scream Queen's logic, there's enough reason. In reality, there's no reason for any of the Chanels to be working in the hospital.
No. I was using the show's logic.
Yeah, not actual logic.
Is.
Yeah. SQ logic, not actual logic.
Yeah, and to be fair, hospital, it's a big enough place that you can kind of get away with having all these different sets and just kind of make them all look similar and reused.
Yeah, you can. It's kind of it's not even necessarily a complaint, more of an observation. But season 1 did feel a bit grander in scope, and we did have Chad all season. We had Denise all season, but I think Chanel number 5 came into her own this season and had probably some of her best moments.
She did, but I don't think we ever had a moment like the Backstreet Boys. There was never that sort of moment in this season for me.
I don't know. 99 Red Balloons during surgery comes close.
It's good, but it's not the same. That said, while we're on the topic, Smoke on the Water.
Oh yeah, when she starts singing. So it's funny because when she started singing it during the operation, I kept thinking, right, the actual guitar riff's going to kick in at some point.
Yeah, it's just going to do the same trick as before. Yeah, and that's fine.
Great thing is, though, Chanel number 1. This is the other thing with the whole the pumpkin spice latte plan, is that they're in there in their scrubs and all that. They've got their masks on, and Chanel's just holding this takeaway coffee cup, as if that's normal in an operating room.
It's the way she just kind of throws it really weakly as well at Hoffel, essentially.
Yeah,
and I think as well after they escort her off, Chanel number 5 just kind of carries on with the surgery. She just carries on because she knows what she's doing somehow.
Well, she's a genius. She is the MCAS.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. But somehow, she never really learned it except just being there. And again, Scream Queen's logic.
Also, Chanel number 5 joke that she didn't even kind of... Well, she acknowledged, but she didn't acknowledge it in the way I thought she would. When she comes into the room with Munch and Holt just after they've been married, it's like, oh, I'm sorry to interrupt, and Munch goes, well, this is probably the closest she'll ever be to being married, so I'll forgive it.
Yeah.
And Chanel number 5 just kind of like smiles as if she's like grateful for that statement.
I think she's kind of used to those.
Yeah. But no. No, it was a fun season finale.
It was, and again, like I said, it just suffers the same season finale problems as we have to say what actually was going on. We have to give answers. I don't think it was as bad because it wasn't a mystery for us anymore. It was for the characters, perhaps, but
yeah, because we've known who all the killers were for episodes and episodes now.
But last season, we didn't find out it was Hester till the end of the first part.
Yeah, so it was a lot of exposition in the last episode. Yeah, whereas here it didn't have to suffer quite as much of that. Yeah, I think I definitely enjoyed this finale more than last season's. I think season 1 as a whole's better, but the season finale to season finale, this one was better than last season's.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
But no, it was another solid season of Scream Queens. Hopefully somehow we get a season 3. Maybe Fox will just want it for their fall slots so they can have to promote it for October, you know.
Hopefully them slashing the budget, as we mentioned, was enough that even though the ratings are down, it's not as big a loss.
You know what, put it in Friday before or after Exorcist. Make it some sort of weird pairing. Get your serious horror story with one, and then lighten up afterwards with a amusing horror
I think
story.
that'd be a really, or maybe the other way around. Do the amusing stuff like as a bit of a fun lead in, get you in the mood, and then now for the real thing.
Yeah, there you go. Do that. That could work.
It's a good pairing for them. We just need to get both of them renewed.
Yeah, and I only need one more season. Like I feel like a trilogy is perfect because they can almost do the Scream thing where they reference okay, the second season was the sequel, the third one is the trilogy, so it can wrap
everything up, round things out.
How we put all the characters back together again, I'm not sure. But then again, it seemed just as weird at the start of this season, so why not? Like, pick your.
What they'll do is Chanel's fame has gone to a head with a show, and she'll be like, "Nah, I'm bored of this now," because she would be.
That said,
and she'll go, "Let's go hunting."
That said,
for a serial killer.
Oh, that could work. That said, I wouldn't be opposed to her like TV studio being the central, like sort of premise of the show.
Well, if obviously it morphs from just her being a TV doctor to like her just being a TV personality, and her new show, which we follow along with, is them hunting down a serial killer.
Yeah, I could do that.
And we have it all like not all, but we have like the TV film camera perspectives and stuff, and like a bit like a faux documentary style.
Also, at one point in this finale, Cassidy's mum is like feeding Zadie soup, right? And she's down at the bottom of this ridiculous sized pit that's in her bedroom, and I'm like, what? Did she like climb down a ladder like with a tray of soup? Like how did she?
It was in a bucket.
Was it a bucket? Was it?
She lowered it down on a rope in a bucket.
And
I don't know. I'm just guessing that's how I'd do it.
And then slid down a ladder like a commando.
Well, she's got to have a ladder, right? I mean, Zadie's tied down.
I couldn't see one, but
maybe it's a rope ladder that she can pull up and down.
True. That's possible. Not that I should be analysing this with logic again. Here I go.
It's a giant pit under a bed
with green liquid underneath it. It's like a Bond villain's lair.
It's amazing.
And it's underneath a normal house.
Oh boy.
Scream Queens, everyone. No room for logic, but that's okay. But no, good fun. Let us know what you thought of this season in the comments below. Like and subscribe and all that stuff. It helps us out a lot. Hopefully we get a season 3. Get us on Twitter at mailed_fuzz. And we'll see you next time.